Good evening. You are watching the news from the Sultanate of Oman television.
Welcome to the Shura Day News Bulletin. First, the headlines.
Voters continue casting their ballots in all governorates of the Sultanate to choose their representatives at the Shura Council for the 9th term.
The Ministry of Interior extends the voting time until 9 p.m. and confirms that the voting process goes easily and smoothly.
And the tropical cyclone Kiyar intensifies to Category 4 and moves westerly to northwesterly direction towards Central Arabian Sea.
Those were the headlines. Now for the news in detail. His Majesty Sultan Qaboos sent a cable of greetings to His Excellency President Miloš Zeman of Czech Republic on his country's National Day.
Around 713,000 male and female voters headed to voting centers in all wilayas of the Sultanate to elect Shura Council members for the 9th term. All 110 polling stations will remain open until 9 p.m. for voters to elect 86 members from 637 male and female candidates. The Ministry of Interior confirms that the electoral process in all centers went easily and smoothly.
For more details on the development of Shura Council elections, we link live with our reporter from the Ministry of Interior, Saleh bin Khalfan Al-Rahbi. Saleh?
Yes, Khalid.
Hi, welcome to the news. And could you tell us, please, what the situation is in the electoral voting center?
Thank you, Khalid. Actually, as you are aware, there is an extension actually has been given to the voters up to 9 p.m. So all across the Sultanate, that's the time given to the voters to cast their votes. And to get the latest updates as why this extension is given to the voters, I have here with me at the studio at the Minister of Interior, Maimouna bin Saeed Suleymaniya, member of the main committee of the Shura Council election, the 9th term. So welcome, Maimouna, to the interview.
Nice to meet you.
Can you please elaborate on the reasons as why this extension is given for 2 hours for the voters?
Okay, first of all, I'll start with the regulatory part. Usually in any voting or elections, there is an opportunity or the chance of extension according to the circumstances surrounding the voting in each particular wilayat center for voting. Yes. And the main obligation or the duty of the main supreme or main committee of the election is to monitor the trends of the voting. Yeah. And the number of voters around the 12 hours of voting time, and engage and actively take decision on whether to extend or not based on legitimate reasons. The legitimate reasons for the term 9 were, first of all, the familiarity to the new machines for voting, which are the electronic polls. It took voters today a while until they got familiar with how they can vote on those e-polls. So we allowed people time to facilitate their voting in a transparent and independent way. The other reason is that the trend, the voters for term 9, we noticed that the trend has changed. The total number of voters cast for term 9 is 713,000 plus of voters. However, those who started to show up and take increase the uptake of voters started in the afternoon as we've arrived to 40% of vote cast. So at that point of time, we received requests from different centers based on these two reasons to allow extension, to allow more voters and facilitate their democratic right to vote.
Okay. So apart from the extension, Maimouna, how did the process around the election process go around the Sultanate in all centers today?
Well, as I mentioned, the trend started in the morning in a very unexpected way. Usually, the voters' uptake improves during the day until the last 12 hours. However, this time, due maybe to a number of factors, one of them is the holiday of the Ministry of Education given. It allowed many parents and families to dedicate their day for voting, and therefore we witnessed more people in the morning time voting. So this is one of the trends of the process of voting. Otherwise, a few snags of technicalities like the one in Nizwa of outage, electricity outage, which we've resolved in less than 1 hour. So therefore, I think voters have more interest in voting, and the 20% of number of increase in voters we've witnessed during the day.
Okay, great. Now, given the fact that there is this extension given to the voters, what time do you think the results will be announced?
Right. Because everything went electronic for term 9, we expect that after we close the polls at 9 o'clock, maybe it will take us 1 hour to do the electronic segregation of all data, and therefore we are in a position to announce the final result within 1 hour from closing the polls.
Okay, thank you, Maimouna. So Khalid, as you have listened and you have seen, the results will be announced in 1 hour or 2 hours immediately after the close of the voting stations or centers. Now back to you at the studio to continue with the rest of the news.
Thank you so much, Saleh, for briefing us. That was Saleh bin Khalfan al-Rahbi briefing us from the Minister of Interior. Thank you so much, Saleh.
His Highness Sayyid Shihab bin Tariq Al Saeed, advisor to His Majesty the Sultan, stated that the day of Shura Council members' elections is considered a glorious day in the history of Oman and its blessed renaissance. This came while he was casting his vote in the Wilaya of Sib. He added that Oman, under the wise leadership of His Majesty the Sultan, advanced in a great way in terms of Shura aspects. He also wished all the best for those who will be elected, praying to Almighty Allah to grant them success, with hopes that they will do their best to serve their wilayas and the beloved country, as well as to perform their duties and tasks efficiently and represent their wilayas in the Shura Council. He further said that the elected members shall keep up with the latest developments and changes in the community, the country, and the world, including economic, social, security, and others. He concluded by praying to Allah for further development and progress for the country and its loyal citizens.
His Excellency Sayyid Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior, met with the main committee of the Shura Council members' elections for the 9th term. His Excellency reviewed the electoral process as it was planned for the exerted efforts of the chairman and the members of the committee for conducting the voting process a success.
His Excellency Hamoud bin Faisal Al Busaidi, Minister of Interior, paid an inspection visit to the Unified Voting Center in the Governorate of Muscat in the Wilaya of Baushar, where he reviewed the electoral process in Al-Ula Basic Education School, which was specified for male voters, and Thuraya Al Busaidiya Basic Education School for female voters. His Excellency was briefed about the organizing process and preparedness at the voting halls and witnessed the voting process, praising the exerted efforts in facilitating the process to make this national event a success.
Since the start of the Blessed Renaissance era, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos issued royal decree to establish the Agriculture, Fisheries and Industry Council as the first authority for decision-making with citizens. Then the State Advisory Council reaching the Shura Council. Shura Council was given monitoring and legislative powers to undertake its role in decision-making that serve Oman and its people and to support government in implementing continuous development plans. Partnership and consultation is part of Omani traditions, strengthened by serious and studied approach by a wise leader, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. From his first year of accession to the throne, he established pillars of nation building, top of which was Shura system, excuse me, and the significance of citizen participation in political, social and economic decision-making. Over 2.5 decades, the institution of Shura have been built gradually with careful and studied openness to human experiments. Through its previous terms, Shura March has developed through tireless works and wise visions and views that enabled it to be given more new powers.
Figures and statistics document the evolution of the successive and ongoing Shura process in the Sultanate over the past years, with general characteristics in the gradual process of Shura participation and practice.
In addition to the ministerial discussion sessions, regular meetings and equal opportunities between men and women to participate in the council.
Community participation and development began with institutional, political, social and cultural preparation in accordance with the gradual approach adopted by the leader of Oman's modern Renaissance, His Majesty Sultan Qaboos. The Sultanate's Shura process witnessed a continuous progress along the past years, characterized by graduation in the process of participation and practice in Shura as follows. In the initial period, the Council represented 59 members. In the second period, 80 members. In the third period, 82 members. In the fourth period, 83. In the fifth, sixth and seventh period, 84 members. In the eighth period, 85 members. The Sultanate's progressive participation and practice in the Shura process is also characterized by equal opportunities between men and women, boosting women's participation in the council as 2 elected women represented the wilayas of Sib and Muscat in its second term. The third, fourth and fifth period, women were present with 2 representatives. In the last 7th and 8th period, 1 woman represented the council in each period. During the past period, the Council has practiced its Shura means, where figures and statistics have documented its 86 regular meetings. It also documented 17 ministerial panel discussions with a number of ministers. As for the legislative role of the Council, during the 8th period, 25 draft laws were referred to the Council, where the number of proposed draft laws by the Council reached 8. Whereas draft agreements amounted to 43.
The elections of the Shura Council members for the 9th term continue in the Wilaya of Ibra. More details in the following report by Saif bin Khalfan al-Kindi.
More than 10,280 electors have been registered in the election record in the Wilaya of Ibra. The election center was opened at 7 a.m. and witnessed a remarkable percentage of participants in the voting process.
We have started at 7 a.m. in the morning, and we're still receiving a lot of electors. What makes this election special is the new electronic devices that we have for voting. What they use is they will put their ID in, and then they would match it with their fingerprint, and then they can choose the range of the electors that they have.
8 candidates, including 1 woman, had an opportunity to compete for 1 seat and gain 1 representative in the Shura Majlis. The new electronic device made the election process very easy and faster. Using the new electronic device, approximately 1 minute and 30 seconds was the estimated voting time.
election today in Ibra is very smoothly and everything will be organized very well, and everyone here, all members, do the work on time and help and contribute to organize everything. And every time give instruction and guidelines for all citizens here in Ibra. And for anything, we already prepare ourselves to help anyone here.
Despite the big crowd during the rush hour, the organizing committee spent great efforts to make the elections flowing very quickly among the 14 rooms in the center. While using the electronic device have increased the efficiency of the voting in the wilaya of Ibra. More than 10,000 electors have been moving from and in the center very easily. Saif Al-Kindi for English News, Ibra.
In 1994, the first participation of Omani women in the Shura Council began with the right to vote and to run in the elections.
Today, the participation of women in the 9th term elections of the Council has expanded, with 40 women running in elections and nearly 337,500 voters registered. Here is a report.
25 years ago, the Omani woman first started her participation as a voter and a candidate in the Shura Council. That was sure to establish a real partnership which brings together both sides of the Omani society at the same table to share together in drafting laws with a view to the future. The year 1994 dates the Omani woman's right to vote and run in elections as the first GCC woman who attained this right. With the arrival of the first two candidates in the second period of the Council's life, the Omani woman's ability to participate in decision-making has been assured of its own faith and community support. In spite of the lack of access, but those who arrived proved their ability and their partners to participate actively and studying carefully the conditions of society and its requirements. The Shura Council has prepared for the birth of its 9th term amidst a remarkable social and women's movement. Experts believe that this translates the maturity of feminist knowledge of the responsibilities of the Shura Council members, which led them to submit electoral programs to the voters in order to prove their excellence and efficiency. Voter lists show the approximate number of voters whose number were close to 337,500 to prove that access to the Shura Council is not the only goal, but that the real participation in the formation of the path of the Council, which contributes to map the projects of Oman over the next 4 years, is the target.
The National Multi-Hazards Early Warning Center analysis indicates that the tropical cyclone Kiyar is over the eastern parts of the Arabian Sea near the coast of India. The tropical cyclone is about 800 kilometers from the closest point of the Sultanate's coast, Ras Madraka. Latest numerical weather prediction indicates westerly to northwesterly movement towards Central Arabian Sea with a probability of further intensification into a tropical cyclone category 4. Seas along the coast of the governorates of South Sharqiya, Wusta and Dhofar will be moderate to rough with a maximum wave height of 3 meters. Chances of seawater inundation over low-lying areas are possible. The National Multi-Hazards Early Warning Center continues to monitor all the updates of Kiyar, and the Public Authority for Civil Aviation advises the public to follow the latest official weather bulletins and reports.
This is the Sultanate of Oman Television. Before we end tonight's bulletin, here are the main points once again. Voters continue casting their ballots in all governorates of the Sultanate to choose their representatives at the Shura Council for the 9th term.
The Ministry of Interior extends the voting time until 9 p.m. and confirms that the voting process goes easily and smoothly.
And the tropical cyclone Kiar intensifies to Category 4 and moves westerly to northwesterly direction towards Central Arabian Sea. With that, we come to the end of tonight's news bulletin. Tonight's Shura News Bulletin from all of us here at the newsroom
and the
studios.
studios. Thank you for watching and have a good night.
Good night.